Hi everyone, welcome to this beginner friendly tour of Django, a magical toolkit that helps you to build some website using Python. Today we are going to take a peek into how Django structures its projects, and trust me, it's not as complicated as it sounds. So Django is like a superhero for web developers. It makes building websites easier and more fun. Today, we are going to look at how a Django project is put together. First thing first, we start a new Django project. It's like telling Django, hey, I want to build something. We do this by typing Django-admin start project my site. In the computer talk space, we will see how we will create project in Django in our upcoming videos. So today is our focus on the structure of Django application, how Django projects and apps build. So let's start, guys. As you see my site, this is the main project directory. You see inside this is the main folder, my site, that contains your entire Django project. Whole project inside this my site. My site is basically a directory or a folder. So inside this my site, we have inside my site folder, we have file manage.py. This is a command line utility for managing various aspects of your Django project. In this file, you can use it to run development server. By using this, we will run our development server, create database tables, applying migrations and more. So the manage.py is a command line utility for managing various aspects of your Django project. Move to next line, my site. Inside my site, this is the main folder. Inside this, we have another my site same name folder. This directory is also known as inner project directory. This directory usually has the same name as your project, as you see, and contains settings for the entire project. This inner project directory, this is our main project directory, and this is our inner project directory. This will contain settings for the entire project. Okay, I hope you will clear to this step. Inside inner project directory, we have another file init__dot.py, an empty file, this one, an empty file that tells Python that this directory should be considered a Python package. What is the purpose of this file in inner directory project? This file, first of all, this is an empty file, and the purpose of this file that tells Python that this directory should be considered a Python package. The use of this, and the next file settings.py, which is also inside inner project directory, contains this settings.py contains configurations settings for your Django project, such as database connection, static files, middleware, installed apps, and more. So the settings.py inside inner project directory contains configurations settings for your Django project, such as database connection, static files, middleware, installed apps, and more. Guys, please focus on this directory structure. We will cover how to create, how to connect with database, how to create middlewares, static files, installed apps in our upcoming videos. So just focus on the structure. The next file, the name is urls.py. This is also inside our inner project directory. Defines the URL patterns for your project. This will do what? Defines the URL patterns for your project. It is the entry point. This file, it is the entry point for how URLs are routed to different parts of your application. So guys, urls.py define the URL patterns for your project, and also it is the entry point how URLs are routed to different parts of your application. The next file is wsgi.py. Stand for Web Server Gateway Interface. WSGI stands for Web Server Gateway Interface. This file helps Django interact with web servers to handle HTTP requests. What is this file is doing? This file helps Django interact with web servers to handle HTTP requests. Move forward. In main project directory, we have another folder, a directory with name myapp. Basically, this is an example app within your project. Django projects can have multiple apps. Guys, you can create multiple apps in one project. Keep in mind that we will create many apps in Django project. Guys, and how we create apps in Django project with the help of command python manage.py start app, name is myapp. By using this command, we will create this app inside our project by site. So inside this app folder, we have once again __ init __py, an empty file that tells Python that this directory should be considered a Python package. This directory, the whole directory, this one, my app __init __.py, admin.py, and apps. This whole directory considered as what? Package. So what is the purpose of admin.py inside our app, my app? Admin.py used for registering your models with the Django admin interface. Admin.py used for registering your models with the Django admin interface. And the next file, apps.py, inside our app folder, configuration file for your app. This is doing what? This is our configuration file for app, and we will define metadata for our app here. What we are doing in this file, we will define metadata for our app here. So inside my app folder, we have another directory, migrations. Inside this we have once again __init.py. So the this migration directory for storing database migration files. Migration are used to evolve your database schema over time. So when we run our migration command, so inside this migration directory, what we got, this will store database migration files. When we run command python manage.py make migrations, or python manage.py make migration, or python manage.py migrate. So when we run these commands, after that we will see here in this migration folder storing database migrations file. This will store after run v command. This directory is responsible for storing migration files. Migrations are used to evolve your database schema over time. So the next file name is models.py. Inside our app folder defines the data models for your app. This file is used for define data models for our app. Models represent database tables and more used to interact with the database. So guys, understand this point. We will define the data models for our app in this model.py, and models represents database tables. What are models represented? Models represent database tables and used to interact with the database. First, define models. Database table represents and used to interact with database. The next file, the test.py, inside our app, my app, in this case used for writing test for your app. This tests.py used for writing tests. So we will cover all this one by one in our upcoming videos. Just focus on this directory structure. and each file what is doing. The next file views.py inside our app directory. My app, in this case, contains the views for your app. This will contains views for our app. Views handle the logic for processing requests and returning responses. What is views doing? Views.py file handle the logic for processing requests and returning responses. So this is our my app folder, files and subfolders. So next move to the static file directory inside our project. Our project name is my site. Inside our project we have another static directory or folder. So this is where this file where you can store static files like CSS, JavaScript and images. We will store our images, JavaScript and CSS files inside this static directory. The next, templates inside our project. This directory is used to store HTML templates for your views. What is the responsibility of this templates directory? This directory is used to store HTML templates for your views. This will store HTML templates for our views we will create here in this views.py of our app. So templates.py. So the guys, next line, next directory, media. This media directory inside our project directory. This is where we can store user uploaded media files such as images or documents. So this is the directory where we store our uploaded media files. We will upload images, documents in this directory to use in our apps inside our this project, my site. So the next directory is named venv. This directory venv, and this is also optional, and venv stands for virtual environment directory. This venv directory we will create by using the command python -m venv and then space venv. The command to create virtual environment in Python or Django project is inside our terminal. We will run python -m space venv space venv or any name of your virtual environment. So this directory is created when you set up a virtual environment for our project. It helps isolate project dependencies. This directory, virtual environment directory, it helps isolate project dependencies. So the next file, requirements.txt, optional list of dependencies. In this directory we have these files list all the Python packages and their versions that are required for our project. It's often used in combination with virtual environments. Clear point of this requirement.txt. These files list all the Python packages and their version. We will see later in our upcoming videos, so don't just focus on this. We will see each and every file how to we create in our projects of Django. So the requirements.txt, all Python packages and their version that are required for your project are listed in these files. It is often used in combination with virtual environment. Okay, the next db.sqlite3. What is the purpose in this project? This db.sqlite3, this is the default SQLite database file that Django uses during development. So db.sqlite3 is by default SQLite database file that Django uses during development. Okay. In production, you might use a different database like PostgreSQL or MySQL. For development, we will use this. That is okay for development. For production, we use a different database. Guys, focus on this point. For the production purposes, we use different database like PostgreSQL or MySQL. So the next line or the file .gitignore, it is also optional. We will create it with our Django project. This is doing what? For git configuration, this file .gitignore is used to specify files and directories that should be ignored by version control system like Git. What is Git? Git is version control system, so it helps to avoid adding unnecessary files to your repository. When we create a repository on Git or version control system, that time we will define some unnecessary files and directories in this file. After doing this, when we push our project to GitHub in our repository, this file is used to specify files and directory. All those files and directories which will specify in this gitignore file is ignored. When we ignore, will be ignored. So just the required and needed files and directory of our project will be pushed to our repository on GitHub. So remember, this is a basic structure, and as your project grows, you might customize it to fit your specific needs. Django's flexibility allows you to organize your code in a way that makes sense for your application. And guys, Django is like a friend that helps you organize and build your website step by step. And there you have it. If you like this little journey, don't forget to hit subscribe and share the love. Happy coding and see you in the next adventure. Bye bye.